Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you are new here, my name is Shuri Fall, and thank you for being here with me on this learning and hands-on experience. So now in today's video, I will walk you through how I will set up Splunk on my Ubuntu just to keep eyes on my domain control, okay? And I will show you how I will definitely do all the setups configuration that we need. And also I will install a forwarder into our domain control just to be able to search for data, okay? So now without wasting time, let's go ahead, jump right into it. Now what we want to do here, we are in our VirtualBox Manager. What you want to do, you want to make sure that your pfSense is on. So you click on pfSense and just let it start. As you can see, it is starting right now. And when you're done with that, you want to come here where it says security. And this is where we're going to add our Splunk, okay? So you click on security and you click on new, and then you give it the name as Splunk. That's going to be the name. And then here, we are going to choose our ISO image, just because I already downloaded it, because I already installed Ubuntu, as you can see here. But we are going to use the same image, okay? So you click here, and then you go to your file, wherever you have your Ubuntu. For example, mine going to be in download. Let's see, where do I have mine again? Let's see, command should be on download. This, okay, hold on a second, and download. There you go, we have it here, Ubuntu. Okay, so now you click on that, and then you do open, and then now we have it here. And then now you click on skip unattended installation, and then now you come into hardware. Now here you are going to change it to, here is going to be 40, see, let's put it as, let me see how much I have it here, 4096. Let's see, 4096, okay? And then now the CPU is fine, one is fine. And then now you go to hard disk, and you're going to change this to 100, okay? So after that, you're going to click on finish, okay? So as you can see here, we have our D here, and then we have our Splunk. And then now, before we do anything, we need to go ahead and then do some configuration into our Splunk. So you click on Splunk, and then you go to settings. As we are here into our settings, you go to system, and then you uncheck the floppy, and then select hard disk and move it up, and then optical comes second, okay? And then we are done with that. And let's go back and then set up the network. And then you come here into network, and you're going to change this into internal network. And then this LAN here, we're going to choose LAN 4. Okay, so we're going to choose LAN 4. And then we're going to click on OK. So now we already have all the configuration that we need for our Splunk. Now, what we are going to do next is just to start the installation. Okay, now that we have everything ready, the pfSense is running, and then Splunk is here. You want to click on Splunk, and then you want to click on Start. And then here you want to click on Try or Install Ubuntu. Okay, you do enter. Right here, what you want to do, you want to click on English, or you can choose any language that you speak. But I'm gonna go with English, and then I'm gonna click Next. And here I just gonna click Next. And then the keyboard, I'm gonna stay with English US. Click Next. And then here I'm just gonna go ahead and click Next. And then now I'm going to click Update now and give it a time. All right, now that it is done, now you want to close installer. And then here, as you can see, you have the install Ubuntu 24.041 LTS. Okay, double click on it and just give it a time. Should be coming up here soon. All right, now let's go ahead and choose English once again and click Next. And then now we're going to click Next. And then the keyboard, of course, English US, Next, and use wired connection, Next. And then here, how would you like to install Ubuntu? I'm going to choose interactive installation, click Next, and then default selection, I'm going to leave it as it is. And then here, I'm going to choose install third-party software for graphic and Wi-Fi hardware. Okay, click Next and just give it a time. Should be coming up soon. All right, now we are going to choose a right disk and install Ubuntu start from scratch on your selected disk. Okay, we click Next, and then now let's give it a name here. Let me just choose Reef Share. And here, Splunk computer name, let's see, I'm going to choose Splunk here. Let me choose Splunk up there, and then retype the password here. There you go. Now here, after you confirm the password, you want to click on Next, and then confirm your location. I'm fine with New York. Click Next, and then now we are going to click Install. All right, as you can see, now we're done here. What you want to do, you want to click on here and then log in with your password. There you go, we have our password, and Just give it time. It should be coming up soon. Okay, so now what you want to do here, you want to do next and skip for now, click next, and then now you want to click on no, don't share system data, okay? And then click next, and then now here we want to click on finish. Okay, now that it is on, what we want to do first is we want to install our guest addition, and to do that you want to come here into device and then click where it says insert guest addition, like we did on the last installation. Okay, double click on this CD right here, and then now when you open up here, you want to right click on the white space here. You want to right click, and then you want to come and then click on open in terminal. Okay, and then as you can see, it is here now in our terminal. Let me just make it a little bit big here so you guys can really see the terminal. Okay, so this is what we have here. Right, now that we are here in our terminal, what we want to do, there is a command that we need to run. Okay, and the command that we will be running is going to be sudo. So it's going to be sudo space / vbox Unix addition with the s dot run. Okay, and you tap enter. It's gonna ask you for your password, and here you put your password. There you go. And as you can see here, it's asking you, it did not found the bzip2, not found. Okay, so now we are going to install the bzip2. Okay, now we can go ahead and install the bzip2. Okay, so now to install that, you wanna do sudo apt install. Okay, and it's gonna be this one right here. So you can come here and copy and paste it here, and then you do enter. Okay, as you can see, it is installing right now the bzip2. Okay, and now when it's done, we can go ahead and install the first one that we were trying to install. Okay, so as you can see, it is done. So now you can come here and install this one, which is sudo the vbox linux addition.run, and then we tap enter. Okay, so now it is going through, and just give it a time. As you can see, VirtualBox Addition installer. As you can see here, it is done. Let's go ahead and clear here, and let's close this one, and let's right click on here and eject the CD right here. Okay, now we already ejected. Let's go ahead and add this one. There you go. Now it is good. So we have the full screen here. All right, now it's time to update our system. Okay, so now you go here, right click here. Yes, you just give it a time, a little bit. It should be coming up. Okay, now let's open our terminal here, and then let's go our terminal here. So now what we want to do, we want to update and upgrade our terminal. And to do that, you want to do sudo update sudo full upgrade, and you do enter. Now it's gonna ask you for your password. You put your password. There you go. So now it is updating, and it will be upgrading also. So now let's go ahead and just give it a time. So it's always very important to look what you tap. As you can see here, I made a mistake on how I wrote upgrade. Okay, so now as we have 239 package that can be upgraded. So now let's just go ahead and then do app full upgrade, and then do enter. Okay, as you can see, it is upgrading now. And here is going to ask you, do you want to continue? And you do Y, which is yes, and then do enter. Right, now as you can see, it is done. We can go ahead and then clear the terminal, and then now we can go ahead and shut down our Ubuntu and take a snapshot of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and power off, and when it's off, we're going to take a snapshot of it. So now we're here. Let's go back into this one right here. So you want to go here and right click on it, and actually you want to come here, click on this 3 dot, and then go to snapshot, and then now take a snapshot, and then let's name it fresh install. Okay, and then we want to do okay. So now we come back here and then go to detail. So now it's time to do the configuration of the Splunk, okay, inside of our Ubuntu. Now that we are going to use our Splunk into our 2019 Windows Server, which is going to be our domain controller, okay? So now let's go ahead and turn on. Okay, now that it's on, let's go ahead and put our password 25. Now it's good. And what we want to do from here, when it comes on, we want to go to our Firefox, open the Firefox, and go to the Splunk website, and we're gonna get the Splunk from there. Now that it's here, let's go ahead and open Firefox. You double click on Firefox. Now we want to go to Google, and let's do, there you go. So we are here. Let's give it a second. Google here, and we want to go to Splunk website. Okay, so we do Splunk and then enter, and this is the one we need, the first one right here. Let's see if there is anything else. Let's see. So no, this one right here. Let's see CPU or something. Okay, let's click this one, the first one right here. Let's go ahead and log in. I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you should go ahead and create an account. But I'm about to log in inside of my Splunk. Okay, now that we are inside, so we're already logged in. You want to go to product and click on the Splunk Enterprise. Once you are here, so after you click on product and then you click on enterprise, now you want to click on free trial, okay, and just give it a second. All right, we are going to choose Linux just because we are using this one in our Linux operation system. So you want to click on Linux, and then now you want to choose this one, .deb, this one right here, and you want to click on download. As you can see, it is downloading right now. Okay, so now the download is done. Let's go ahead and check our download file, make sure that we have it there. And to do that, you want to go to your terminal. Okay, now let's check, make sure that we know exactly where we are. We do pwd and we are home. We list what we have there. And then now we want to go inside of downloads, enter, and then now let's list what we have. There you go. We have our package here. Okay. All right. Now that we have our file, as you can see here, now we need to install it. But before installing this Splunk here, we need to make sure to configure some dependency, okay? And then to configure those dependency, now we have to run different command lines that will get us where we want to be, okay? So now let's go ahead and run those different command lines. All right, the first command that we're going to run is going to be sudo apt install cur. And then we do enter. It's gonna ask for our password, enter, and then just let it answer right now. And now that is done, let's go ahead and install the Splunk. So you do sudo, hold on. So you do sudo dpkg space -i, and then the name of the file, which is this one right here. And let's see, paste it here, the name of the file. Okay. All right. So here, the dpkg is just telling the system to install this .deb file. Okay. That's the reason why we have it there. And then now when we're done with that, you want to do enter. Okay, as you can see, the installation is done. Let's clear the terminal here and let's run this command right here, which is going to be sudo pt /splunk/bin. It's going to be bin/splunk space start accept license space yes. Okay, so now this command right here is just basically asking the installation to go through wherever the Splunk is located, and then it start the installation. And when they ask for acceptance of the license, there is like a default where they're gonna ask you to accept the license. So we are asking him to accept the license right away, and then any other question he has to answer to accept it. Okay, that's the reason why we are running this command right here. And then now go ahead and do enter, and then as you can see, it said this appear to be your first time running this version of Splunk. Okay, please enter administrator username, and then you enter your username. Okay, so it's gonna be share, and then do enter. Now it's asking you to enter password. Okay, so now make sure to remember this password also. There you go, we have our password, and then we're asking to re-enter the password. Enter. All right, as you can see here, it is done, and this is the interface that we can use, which is the HTTP that we can use to be able to log into our Splunk. Okay, and then now we can go ahead and use a command that's going to enable our Splunk, that whenever we restart our system, the Splunk will come directly instead of going through this interface right here. Okay, so now to do that, we can, let me just clear the terminal here. Make sure to write this down in case, but just make sure to remember this. So now let's go ahead and clear the terminal here, and then let's run this command right here, which is going to be sudo space opt space splunk bin, say splunk bin enable, hold on, enable boot -start. Okay, so now this is the command that we are going to use. Okay, so now you can do enter, as you can see here. So it's going to start every time that we turn on our system. All right, as you can see, it is done. Now let's go ahead and create another snapshot of our Splunk. So now we can close this one here, and then come all the way up here. And when you power off, you want to go to your VirtualBox right here, and then let's just wait until it turns off. So we want to come here and take another snapshot, because we already took one, which was the fresh install. So now you want to come here and then go to snapshot, and then now take a snapshot, and then now we can name it Splunk. Okay, and then now we're gonna click on OK, and now you want to come back here, right here, go to detail. Okay, I'm very sorry today, my voice is a little bit crazy. I'm dealing with a cold right now, so in case of my my voice is a little bit changed, so that's the reason why. Okay, all right, now that we have Splunk is here, we need to do some configuration into it. And to do that, we want to come here to Splunk, and then we want to go to start and log back in. Okay. All right. Now we can go ahead and log in here into our system. So it's going to be, all right, now that we are here, let's go ahead and open Firefox. And remember the HTTP that we had that I was telling you guys to take a picture of it, or like have it somewhere. That's what we're going to use to get inside of our Splunk. Okay. Just make sure that you have that. Right, let's go ahead and use it. So it's going to be HTTP. Hold on a second here. All right. HTTP and // and then it's going to be 127.0.0.1.8000. Okay, and then you do enter. All right, as you can see, now we are here. Let me close this, and then now we will use that username that we created and the password. Okay, so let's see, and then here we use the password, enter. Okay, so don't save for now, and let's do sign in. All right, as you can see here, now what we want to do is we want to add a port that will receive the data that's coming from our domain controller. Okay, all right, now what we want to do, we want to come here where it says settings, and then you click on that, and you want to go where it says forwarding and receiving, and when you click on forwarding and receiving, just give it a time, and it should be coming up soon. All right, and here you want to come where it says receive data, and then configure receiving. Now you want to click on add new, and here we are going to enter here 9997, which is like a default port that Splunk used to receive data. Okay, so now we're just going to save it here. All right, now that we have this one here, this port, now what we want to do, we want to go back into our domain controller and install a universal forwarder, and that universal forwarder will able to help Splunk receive data from our domain controller. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that. We can open here and then come into our Windows server, and then we're just going to turn it on. Okay, now I went ahead inside of my Windows, not the VirtualBox, okay, not the VirtualBox, but inside of my Windows computer, and then I log back into Splunk here, and then I'm gonna come here where it says shares, and then you type here, let's see, click on search, and then type here. When you come here to the search, you want to type universal forwarder, this one right here. That's what we need. Okay, so you click on that and just give it a time, should be coming up. And now this is the one that we need when it said download universal forwarder for remote data collection. Okay, and you click on download, and as we are using Windows, and then we want to go ahead and download this one, which is going to be a MSI file. Okay, so you want to click on download, and then just let it download. Okay, and here before download, it may ask you to agree into the terms, and you just want to click on, yes, access program. You want to click on I have read and access program. Okay, as you can see, we have our universal forwarder downloaded, is right here. Okay, now what we need to do, because we will drop this file into our Windows Server 2019, and to be able to do that, we want to make sure that we come here into our Windows Server right here and go to setting, and here we want to make sure that we enable the drag and drop. Okay, which is going to be, yes, it is host to guest. Okay, so now we want to do okay, and then now you can go ahead and log inside of our Windows Server, this one right here. Okay, so remember, it's gonna be Control Delete and log here, enter. All right. Okay, so here what I did is I opened my Windows that I'm using. Okay, that I just downloaded the Splunk Forward. Okay, and then now here, this is our Windows Server 2019. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the files here, go to download, and then now I want to take this one and then drop it here. Okay, and as you can see, it is here. So if you don't really enable the drag and drop into your VirtualBox, it's not going to work. Okay, you have to enable it first before it works. Okay, and then now to install it here, you want to go ahead and double click on it and let the installation begin. Splunk Universal Forwarder is not supported. Okay, looks like I have downloaded this 32-bit version instead of the 64. Installing of a 32-bit version of Universal Forwarder on a 64 operation system is not supported. Okay, so let me just go ahead and download the 64-bit. Okay, that's what I need. Okay, all right, so I went back to the website. Instead of the 32, this is the one that I needed, which was the 64-bit. Okay, so now let me just do something first. Okay, download, and then let me delete this one. I don't want any confusion. Okay, So now let me close this one here, close this one, and then now let's go ahead and download this one, the 64-bit. All right, so this the 64-bit it is downloading right now. So that's the one that we need instead of the 32-bit. Okay. All right. So now we have it here, and now let's do the same thing again. And let me open our download here. Put this one here. Hold on, and let's go to download, and then this one. So let's go ahead, open our download here into our domain. So here we have download. So let's take this one and bring it here. There you go. So now we can close this one, make this one big again. So you want to go ahead and double click on it. So now here what we want to do, we want to check here the license agreement here, and then we click on next. All right, here let's go ahead and uncheck this one, and then we use the same password that we have there. It's going to be reshare, and then here let's go to for the password, and let's confirm the password here, and then let's click on next. All right, so here we need our IP address. Okay, so to get our IP address, we want to go back to our Splunk here and open the terminal and get our IP address, and we do IPA, and then here this is our IP address that we need. Okay, so now we have our IP address, which is going to be 10.10.10.13. Okay, so that's our IP address that we need. And now we can go ahead and type our IP address here, which is going to be 10.10.10.13. Okay, so it's going to be 10.10.10.13. Okay, and then here the default going to be 89, and then now we want to click on next. All right, here we go ahead and enter the same IP address, which is going to be 10.10.13. And then now we're going to put here 997. Okay. And here we want to say yes. Now it's done here. We want to go ahead and click on finish. Okay. So now we already have the Splunk installed into our Ubuntu, and then we have the forward also here into our domain that we need, which is the Windows server that we have. Okay. All right. So now the next move will be, let's go ahead and connect to them too. That's the next move that we are going to set up. Okay, now what we want to do, we're going to close this one here, and then now we open our Firefox, and then now as we are here, now we want to go to settings, and then now we want to click on add data. So now what we want to do here, we want to go to settings, and then you want to go to add data, and just give it a second. It should be coming up, and then now we want to go ahead and click on forward. Okay. There you go. As you guys can see, we already have our Windows DC one here, which is our domain control already existed here. Okay. So that's what you want to see. So now this part is, we got it done. All right. So the next step will be to click on add all. Okay. So as you can see here, so we have it here. And then now we just want to give it a name, which is going to be domain controller. Okay. Domain controller. Okay. So, and then now we want to click on next. And from here, so now here, when you come, you want to click on local events logs, and it will give you these available items here. And then now you want to click on add all, and then now you want to click on next. Now the next step will be here to create a new index. Okay. So if you want to know what is a new index, you can go ahead and read this here, but we want to create a new index here. And now here the name, we're just going to put Windows, and make sure that whatever name you put here, you make sure you remember. Let me just go ahead and take a picture so I know for sure that I has it here. And now we want to click on save, and then now we want to go ahead and click on review, and then as you can see here, we have everything here, and now we want to click on submit. All right, so from here, the last step that we need to do is we need to query data from our domain controller to our Splunk. Okay, and to do that, we come here where it say apps, and then we click where it says search and reporting. Now here we can go ahead and skip here, we don't need it. And then now, so we can even skip this one, skip tour, we don't need it. And then now we're gonna come here where it says search. All right, so now here what we need to enter here is going to be index. See, there you go, index and equal, we have the code here, and then mine is going to be Windows. As you can see here, we have our log files. So this is all the logs that we have from our Windows. Okay, there you go. So this was the last setup that we needed to do. We did set up the Splunk, and then the forwarder also we did have it. And then as you can see here, this is the logs that we did. So, all right, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys learn with all the steps that I did today for this video about installing Splunk into our Ubuntu, and also setting up the forwarder, the universal forwarder, and searching for data. So this was the last video on this home lab series that I was making. Okay, and I cannot wait to share with you guys the next step that I have coming in. Stay tuned for that. Thank you.